When you think of the world's most dangerous animals, what comes to mind? A great white shark with its rows of serrated teeth, a grizzly bear, standing 10 feet tall on its hind legs, maybe a lion, the king of the savannah? We're evolutionarily wired to fear the big, the fast, and the powerful. But what if I told you that the deadliest creatures on this planet aren't the ones you can see coming from a mile away? What if the most effective killers are the ones that could fit in the palm of your hand, or even on the tip of your finger? Today, we're diving into the world of the minuscule to uncover the smallest animals that can kill a human. And trust me, by the end of this, you'll look at that tiny spider in the corner of your room a little differently. We're going to count down 5 of these tiny assassins, from the merely small to the almost invisible. And the number 1 spot. Well, it's responsible for more human deaths than all the sharks, bears, and lions in history combined. Stick around. Kicking off our list at number 5 is an animal so beautiful, it looks like it was designed by a fantasy artist. It lives in the lush rainforests of Central and South America. I'm talking about the poison dart frog. Now you might be thinking, a frog? And yes, a frog. Specifically, the golden poison frog. This amphibian is barely the size of a paperclip, measuring less than 2 inches long. It's brightly colored, a vibrant, almost neon yellow, which in the animal kingdom is nature's way of screaming, "I am absolutely not to be trifled with, and you should listen." The skin of this tiny frog is coated in a potent alkaloid poison called batrachotoxin. How potent? Well, a single golden poison frog weighing less than an ounce has enough toxin on its skin to kill 10 grown men. 10. From a creature smaller than your thumb, the toxin works by attacking your nerves, preventing them from transmitting impulses. This leads to muscle paralysis, and eventually your heart and respiratory system simply stop. What's truly terrifying is that you don't even need to ingest it. Merely touching the frog with a small cut on your hand could be enough to deliver a fatal dose. Indigenous tribes have famously used this toxin for centuries to tip their hunting darts, which is where the frog gets its name. They just gently roll the tip of the dart over the frog's back. That's all it takes. So if you're ever hiking in the Amazon and see a beautiful, tiny, brightly colored frog, take a picture from a very, very safe distance. All right, coming in at number 4, we leave the jungle and head into the ocean. Imagine you're exploring a beautiful coral reef. You see a tiny creature, no bigger than a golf ball, crawling along the seafloor. It's mesmerizing, with brilliant iridescent blue rings that seem to pulse with light. You might be tempted to pick it up. Don't. You've just met the blue-ringed octopus. This is, without a doubt, one of the most venomous marine animals in the world. Found in the tide pools of the Pacific and Indian Oceans, this tiny octopus packs a neurotoxin called tetrodotoxin. If that name sounds familiar, it's the same poison found in pufferfish. And here's the truly chilling part: its bite is often completely painless. You might not even know you've been bitten until it's too late. Within minutes, you'll feel a tingling in your lips and tongue. Then paralysis begins to set in. You'll find it hard to speak, then to move, and finally to breathe. The victim is often fully conscious, fully aware of everything happening, but completely unable to move or signal for help. They are trapped inside their own body as respiratory failure takes over. A single bite contains enough venom to kill over 20 adult humans within minutes. And the worst part? There is no antivenom. The only treatment is immediate and sustained artificial respiration. Basically, someone has to breathe for you until the toxin wears off, which can take up to 24 hours. So that tiny, beautiful creature with the glowing blue rings isn't a jewel of the sea. It's a silent, painless, and terrifyingly effective killer. Okay, are you starting to get a little paranoid about small things? Good, because our number 3 spot is even smaller and even more insidious. Let's stay in the ocean, specifically off the coast of Australia. We've all heard of the box jellyfish, a creature known for its incredibly painful and sometimes fatal sting. But we're not talking about the big ones. We're talking about its tiny cousin, the irukandji jellyfish. When I say tiny, I mean it. The bell of this jellyfish is about the size of a sugar cube. Its tentacles can be long, but they are nearly invisible to the naked eye. You could swim right through them and have no idea. The initial sting is often mild, sometimes described as being no worse than a mosquito bite. You might just dismiss it, but about 30 minutes later the real horror begins. The victim is hit with a wave of symptoms so severe it has its own name: irukandji syndrome. This includes excruciating muscle pain all over the body, Vomiting, sweating, and a spike in blood pressure so high it can lead to a stroke or heart failure. But the most bizarre and terrifying symptom is psychological. Victims report an overwhelming, bone-deep feeling of impending doom. They feel with absolute certainty that they are about to die. Doctors who have studied it, and even been stung themselves, describe the pain as almost unimaginable. And remember, all of this comes from a creature you literally cannot see. There have been several recorded fatalities, and because the sting is so minor at first, victims often don't seek help until it's far too late. The Irukandji proves that sometimes the worst threats are the ones that are completely invisible. For our number 2 spot, we have an animal that most people would consider completely harmless. In fact, you probably have a collection of its empty homes sitting on a shelf somewhere. I'm talking about a snail. No, I'm not kidding. Specifically, the geographic cone snail. Found in the warm waters of the Indo-Pacific, this snail is a predator. It doesn't move fast, obviously, but it doesn't have to, because it hunts with a biological harpoon. The cone snail has a long, flexible tube called a proboscis. Hidden inside that tube is a tiny, venom-laced harpoon-like tooth. When a fish or another creature gets close, the snail fires this harpoon at incredible speed. The tooth impales the victim and injects a complex cocktail of hundreds of different toxins known as a conotoxin. This venom is one of the most potent in the world. It's a paralytic agent so effective that it's been nicknamed cigarette snail by locals, meaning if you get stung, you have about enough time to smoke a cigarette before you die. The venom causes immediate paralysis, preventing the fish from swimming away. The snail then retracts the harpoon, dragging its paralyzed meal back to its mouth to be consumed. Now, why is this dangerous to humans? People, often admiring its beautifully patterned shell, will pick it up. The snail, feeling threatened, does what it does best. It fires its harpoon. The sting can be painless at first, but symptoms quickly escalate from numbness and tingling to muscle paralysis, vision impairment, and complete respiratory failure. Just like with the blue-ringed octopus, there is no anti-venom. It is a race against time to get the victim on life support. This beautiful, unassuming shell contains one of the most sophisticated weapon systems in the animal kingdom. We've seen frogs, octopuses, jellyfish, and snails. All tiny, all deadly. But none of them even come close to our number 1 spot. The single deadliest animal on planet Earth is also one of the smallest and most common. You've definitely been bitten by one. You probably have one in your house right now. The deadliest animal in the world is the mosquito. It sounds almost anticlimactic, right? A mosquito. They're just annoying. Their bites are just itchy. How can they be number 1? It's not the mosquito itself that kills. The mosquito is a vector, a delivery system. It is by far the most effective transmitter of disease the world has ever known. Think about it. This tiny insect is responsible for spreading malaria, dengue fever, West Nile virus, yellow fever, Zika, and more. Let's just take one of those, malaria. Every year, malaria infects over 200 million people. And every year it kills over 600,000 of them, most of them children under the age of 5. Let me put that in perspective. Sharks kill on average about 10 people per year. The mosquito kills more than that every 10 minutes. It is a flying, hypodermic needle that has been honed by millions of years of evolution to be an expert at 2 things: finding you and drawing your blood without you noticing until it's flown away. And in that single tiny exchange of fluid, it can pass on a parasite that will hijack your red blood cells and end your life. When you add up all the diseases it carries, the mosquito is responsible for hundreds of thousands, and in some estimates, over 1 million human deaths every single year. It has killed more people than any other animal in history. It has probably killed more people than all wars in history. All of this from an insect that weighs less than a grain of rice. So there you have it. From the vibrant skin of a frog, to the invisible tentacles of a jellyfish, to the silent, disease-carrying bite of a mosquito. It's a powerful reminder that in the natural world, size means very little. The true danger isn't always the creature with the biggest teeth or the sharpest claws. It's the one with the most effective weapon. And often, that weapon is a complex chemical venom or a microscopic parasite, delivered by a creature so small, you never even saw it coming. The world is a beautiful and fascinating place, but it demands our respect. And sometimes the smallest things demand the most respect of all. What did you think? Were you surprised by any of the animals on this list? What other tiny killers do you think should have been included? Let me know down in the comments. I'd love to hear your thoughts. And if you enjoyed this and want to explore more of the hidden dangers and wonders of the natural world, be sure to hit that like button and subscribe. Don't forget the notification bell so you don't miss our next adventure. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.